Hip, hip, hooray, and welcome everybody. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about a lot of Scientology and culty things today. Scientology infiltration has occurred, and there is some footage exposing some crazy lies, some crazy recruitment lies, and we're going to look at it and we're going to talk about it. Scientology Audit Streets LA, William Gude has called out Scientology for paying YouTuber Zero Dark Tony through the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. We talked about that the other day. Well, now Scientology Audit Streets LA is talking about it and calling it out. We're going to look at some footage he has from in front of Scientology's Hollywood Winter Wonderland. And we're going to look at a report saying that Tom Cruise is done dating Scientologists. I don't know. Could that be good for Scientology? Maybe. We'll talk about that. And Aaron Smith-Levin from Growing Up in Scientology hilariously reacts to some new Scientology commercials. Did you guys know there were new Scientology commercials? Bet that wasn't on your Christmas list at all or in any way related to any type of New Year's resolution. I just want to watch more Scientology commercials. That's what I'm hoping for in the new year. No, it wasn't. It's not that way for anybody. Okay, let's get the Tom Cruise news out of the way. This is like whatever. So he's dating this woman. The interesting thing, so meet Tom Cruise's rumored love interest, Maha Dakil, who was forced to resign from the CAA last year. And that's like the agents for people in the entertainment industry. The Top Gun Mavericks agent has also worked with Madonna and Anne Hathaway. So here she is here, beautiful woman. So they're rumored to be dating. The interesting thing about this is, of course, that she is not a Scientologist. They were spotted out in London, blah, 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 getting all touchy-feely. Good for them. Where she works, the people she's repped. But here's the thing. Not a Scientologist. So my question to all of you, do you guys think that Scientology has been like, dude, Tom Cruise, we love you, but we cannot spare any more people. You have like gotten more women declared from Scientology than just about anybody. And we really can't have you dating Scientologists anymore on account of that, because our numbers are dwindling already. And it seems like every woman you touch somehow becomes a suppressive person. So like, I don't know, go somewhere else, Tom Cruise. This is my theory of what happens behind closed doors in my fan fiction. What do you guys think about that? Because I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm Scientology, I'm like, we've lost so many Scientologists to Tom Cruise dating them. We can't lose anymore. It's a sinking ship. It is. Tom's next SP contribution. Kim is not a degraded being. Oh gosh, I'm telling you, it's like embarrassing already for Tom Cruise. And as we get going here, everybody, I want to say a big thank you to the moderators for helping out today, the members for being here, and everybody in the live chat. And we have a very special birthday today. Today is the birthday of the one, the only Mama Opal.
Birthday to you.
Everybody celebrate with me.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Mama Opal.
Happy birthday to you.
Mama Opal.
Happy birthday to you.
Mama Opal. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for all your hard work, helping out and helping us keep the wheels on the bus, and myself as well. So happy birthday to you. I love seeing all the happy birthdays. Keep them coming. George Massey says, please, Nat, please don't think about it. Dating Tom Cruise as a rebound from your fling with Xenu. I'm begging you. If you show up with Tom Cruise, I'm unsubbing. Okay. How absolutely crazy would that be? I don't know that I could stand it. Out of curiosity, I'm not lying. I would go on a date with Tom Cruise out of curiosity, just to see how the dog and pony show works. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I'm his type on account of not actually, like really wanting to make my own way and think for myself and not be controlled by a human trafficking cult. So probably not going to work. Is it also Kathy's birthday today? Kathy Scogans, it is your birthday today as well. That is fantastic. Yes, we'll add a happy birthday, of course, to Kathy Scogans as well. Let's do it. Kathy Scogans. Kathy Scogans. Kathy Scogans. Keep the happy birthdays coming. I love it. I love all the emojis. I love all the things. We need lots of aloha today because, we're all getting through a wild holiday. I got to be honest. I'm just happy it's over. I'm just happy it's over. Going to get through New Year's, not looking back at all. I'm leaving the holidays behind me in the dust. I made it through my first holidays, almost done without my Tony. And yeah, I'm making it through. Winning. I'm taking that as such a big win. Dusty says, Merry Christmas from Coldwater. Because of this wonderful community, I've received more family like love this Christmas than any other Christmas in my life. Thank you for all the best gifts ever. Love you, Dusty. That is so awesome. I do love that about this community, and our moderators play such a key part in helping us build that and create that. And all of you here with sharing support for each other, keeping things, fairly family friendly. And when new people come, welcoming and embracing them and being there for people when they have questions and asking questions and supporting each other. So you guys are amazing. Amazing with all of that. Okay, keep the happy birthdays coming. I'm going to keep moving on here. Speaking of Tom Cruise's exes, this was just a little funny story here that brought up a question for me. Let's see here. Hold on, I lost it. Nicole Kidman says that she has to apologize to her neighbors for her Christmas lights every year because she puts them up so early. Former Scientologist and actress Nicole Kidman. I thought this was interesting because, doesn't do a lot of people put out Christmas lights. It's because they're out early and she has to apologize for doing it with the neighbors. Here's what this made me think of. Are you the neighbor that goes all out during the holidays? Do you need to apologize, or do you have that neighbor in your neighborhood? What are your thoughts about it? Where I live now, I haven't seen somebody go like really over the top. Down the road from where I live, there is, but I'm curious, what happens around where you are? Are you having to apologize for anything you're putting out for the holidays? Or do you have a neighbor that you wish would apologize? This is more a point of curiosity for me of how things are working for y'all around the world during the holidays here. But that Nicole Kidman article made me think like, if Nicole Kidman is apologizing, what is it the rest of us are doing? Now, moving past the holidays here, we're going to look at a clip from Xenu TV. That's Mark Bunker's channel. This is a clip from years ago, but it's got some great information that's going to mortify you, that's going to play in to what we're talking about today. This is an interview with Nancy Manny. Now, I think a lot of you might not be familiar with her or her story. Listen to this.
One of the areas that I was put in charge of was the area of mental health. I had a good 5 to 6 people that I was responsible for that worked under me. It was easy for us to be college students wanting to do free internships or find out how you worked because we were interested in a career there. So it was very easy for us to go and volunteer just about anywhere. At one time, I was in the personnel department of mental health. So I would take all the...
Now she's talking about how Scientology got spies, Scientology spies into these areas, okay?
Personnel files of psychiatrists, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. I would bring them home with me, copy them, and replace them back into the files over and over and over again. They're looking for who is that person connected to. And ideally, the person that he most listens to and the thing that he most values, that if you go near this, he'll back off.
Now, we've talked about this multiple times, especially if we've gone through the Office of Special Affairs files. In fact, we got to wake them up. We're doing double Davy these days because somebody sent me another one. David Miscavige, wake up your people. Office of Special Affairs, rise and shine, my lovelies. It's Thursday before 2. I know you're probably like really busy, probably trying to track all of the negative press being said about Scientology. Okay, so Office of Special Affairs, I know you know who Nancy Manny is. And today we are talking about how Scientology puts spies and infiltrates areas. And then we're going to talk about how Scientology recently just got infiltrated and the lies that got found out. So a little more Nancy Manny here, blowing the lid on this.
That's what the purpose of intelligence is. So you won't necessarily find a spy near you. You'll find a spy near your best friend. And you'll talk to your best friend because you've known him for 20 years. And he might mention a few things to this new friend of his, but he doesn't have a clue.
Now, a little side note here. Some of you might have realized to some degree that not everybody, but some of us sometimes as former Scientologists are just a little like, we might look at you side-eyed sometimes, especially new people coming in. This is partly why, because Scientology has a track record of sending in people to mess with the lives of people who are exposing Scientology and telling the truth about it, whether they're former members or somebody who became a big critic exposing Scientology. And this is how they do it. This is how they do it. Sorry, that just popped into my head. This is how they do it. It's not always directly, let's put that person in the life of the former Scientologist, or the person exposing like one-on-one. It's your friend, your friends, because you're telling them information about what you're doing, very possibly. And now they're telling the spy from Scientology. So it can be once removed in that way. And it's actually Scientology can send a spy into somebody who you actually know. Now, why does that not work so much today? In my opinion, it is my opinion that doesn't work so much today because most of us, many of us who are here on YouTube anyways and exposing Scientology, we're outright just telling you, hey, here I am. I'm Natalie Webster. I live in the Midwest. I'm a former Scientologist. I escaped with 3 generations of my family. And now I'm helping to expose this human trafficking cult. There's no secret. There's nothing. What they're afraid of is who we might be talking to. And that is such a level of paranoia, probably rightfully so if you're Scientology, because leaving Scientology and having doubts about Scientology is catchy as hell, okay? Doubt about Scientology can spread faster than an STD at a frat party, because when you allow people to actually talk about their doubts about Scientology, you find out how many Scientologists actually do have these doubts, and they push them away. They push them away. They don't want people to know. They can't let them know. So it's very interesting to me what she's saying, because I've just seen this play out.
That he's now talking to Scientology directly. Hubbard hated Paulette Cooper.
Now, for those of you listening, not reading, it says here on the screen, Scientology used this tactic against author Paulette Cooper, who wrote the first book critical of
He hated her and he
Scientology.
wanted her destroyed. Her psychiatrist was actually in Boston. So I was trying to get my agents to somehow legally volunteer in the office, get a job in the office, do some, to what I thought was legal, to be able to have access and just make copies. And it was taking too long. And I have never, up to that point, and until I worked directly with LRH at INT, seen so much pressure. The United States Guardian's Office was calling us several times a day.
And this is the Guardian's Office. Now, remember, the Guardian's Office is what the Office of Special Affairs is today. And they wanted Nancy to do a break-in of the psychiatrist's office. When she refused, she was demoted. She refused to do a break-in of the psychiatrist, having to do with Paulette Cooper, who Scientology was trying to get locked up and institutionalized.
Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? And that's why it ended up being a breaking and entering. Then they did a breaking and entering the next week and returned it. Within a week, the unit, as we called ourselves, the Boston unit, got a highly commended from L. Ron Hubbard. Signed L. Ron Hubbard himself.
Did you get that? Signed by L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard commended. Well done. Very well done. Very well done. You illegally broke into the office of a psychiatrist and stole documents so that we can try and shut down a critic of Scientology. Bravo, said L. Ron Hubbard. Bravo. For anyone who's ever questioned, like, who might be under the belief still that L. Ron Hubbard was not involved in these shenanigans, that Scientology only became culty because of David Miscavige, that is not something I believe. That is not how I see it or what my experience has been based off of, my own experience. But it is sometimes how a thought that some people first leaving Scientology think, oh, Scientology is just messed up because David Miscavige is as culty as they get, and don't realize. And then as they leave, they start learning the truth about L. Ron Hubbard and stories like this.
And we hadn't done anything else that was out of the ordinary. And with the amount of heat and the amount of pressure that was on to get that folder, I knew it was coming from way high. And then when we got the commendation, I knew. I mean, there's no doubt in your mind, you know. How does he know what we're doing? Oh, because he's reading Paulette Cooper's psychiatric folder, and he's happy with it.
How crazy.
There were a lot of people having problems.
And that's Paulette Cooper there. But how crazy. I'm going to link that and all the videos and articles that I'm going to look at today down below, because there are some good ones. If you got time off between now and the new year, boy, have I got some videos for you. Yep, that's right, Jess. Hot tip. We talk to everyone. It's the viral internet. Be very, very afraid. Exactly. Exactly, Scientology. We're talking to more people than you are about you. Old Fritz says Scientology still has that hatred for psychiatry, paranoia about schools, etc. Don't they? They sure do. They really do. They really show how alive and well that is. They really do. Let's see here. Jolie, didn't they send someone to befriend and then moved in with Paulette, or was it someone else? Paulette it was a cousin or someone living with her. And if I'm remembering the story correctly, Scientology sent someone who broke in and physically assaulted or tried to this woman they believed to be Paulette Cooper, but it was actually another woman who was in there. It's just part of this whole crazy story. You can read all about it in her book, by the way. Just look up Paulette Cooper on Amazon and you can probably find it there. Nancy, if you have a chance, can you pop in a link for Paulette Cooper's book? I just want to verify that it is on Amazon there. Justine, so the Guardian's office is no more. Interesting. Yes. After 11 Scientologists, including the wife of L. Ron Hubbard, were sentenced to prison in the late 70s for the largest infiltration of the United States government by infiltrating 136 different entities in the exact way that Nancy Manny just shared with us there, in that exact way. Very, 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 very much so. It is technically no more, because after that happened and all that legal hoo-ha went on, Scientology was like, oh my gosh, we've got bad apples. We've got bad apples. These are just bad actors here. These are just people that they went rogue. We don't know what they were doing. We've gotten rid of them. They're gone. It is safe now. It is safe to come out, everyone. We've gotten rid of the big bad Guardian's office. Now we've rebranded it, calling it the Office of Special Affairs. And we're even going to still use some of the people who are up to shenanigans on behalf of Scientology. It's all rebranding. This is what Scientology does. They just rebrand. They just package it differently, but they're still doing the same stuff that L. Ron Hubbard said to do. Absolutely. Thank you, Shelley, for the reminder. Aloha over to that like button, y'all. Give it a little tap and check your subscribe. Aloha to you, Kelsey. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a great holiday too. I'm just happy to be through it and done with it and over it. Now, and I mean, I did have fun. I love seeing my grandkids and doing that. But the first holidays without Tony, I'm just like, I just want to be on the other side of it. But that doesn't mean that I still don't enjoy and try to have the magic of the holidays. But I'm not going to lie. It's just sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And I have the bags under my eyes to prove it. But it will soon be over. And then I can say I survived. I did it. I got through my first holiday without him. Now, take a look at this, you guys. If anybody is in or near or around Ohio, you might want to know that there's a mall here at the Tuttle Mall in Columbus, Ohio. Scientology got themselves a little Dianetics book display. They got Scientology books out there too, I think. Is that a new slant on life? Hard to tell from this angle. But Dianetics books, again, this is at Tuttle Mall in Columbus, Ohio. In case anybody wants to take you're headed to the mall there and you want to just take advantage of some post-Christmas holiday sales, pick up some stuff, you might want to keep an eye out for this kiosk and anywhere else you are, because Scientology is on a big books make booms. That's what they always say. And they, want to sell a ton of these Dianetics books. They often have little contests and things going on. I'm sure they got a Scientologist to donate the rent for the little kiosk. I bet you, because Scientology, they ain't dishing out money for that. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your kind words and your prayers and everything. I appreciate you. Judy Lee says, I want a chocolate-induced coma. Yeah, I was almost in one of those too. I had not had any sugar or gluten since Thanksgiving. I was saving myself for Christmas, and yeah, ate it like my life depended on it and paying the price today. My joints hurt. It's not good. This is why I try to stay away from it. But it was just a couple days. Now let's go take a look at Scientology's Winter Wonderland over in Kansas City. You guys, we've been getting to know the characters there, right? There's not Jerry, the Scientologist who likes to tell people, mainly me, to go F myself. We've got Office of Special Affairs Matt, otherwise known as OSA Matt. Lower Conditions Larry, we have not seen in a while. Lower Conditions Larry is often out cleaning up all the chalk that Z News, who you can find here on YouTube, or auditing Scientology. Casey, he's out there videoing. He gets great audio too. So they were out there outside Kansas City's Winter Wonderland. We've been talking a lot about it. And no, it did not get massively bigger, but Osa Matt was out there. He's got a new system and a new job, it looks like. That's Z News right there. Look at this. He's got like the cart tech down. He's got like multiple buckets of water. He is prepared and ready to start putting some wet down and making it even easier for these live streamers and protesters to chalk, because it shows up so much better on the wet sidewalk. So I'm so glad that he showed up to do this to make it easier. Even the kids are like, what is this guy doing? Let's read it. Let's see what's happening. I wonder if they just went to the Winter Wonderland. But there he is, just, Osa Matt doing his thing, cleaning it off. Doing this little dance. It just goes back and forth. They put down the chalk. He cleans up the chalk. They put down the chalk. He cleans up the chalk. It's just a little dance that they do here. This is the guy who is super, super chatty the other day. If you got my stream the other day, we looked at a bunch of videos with Osa Matt from auditing Scientology Kansas City. That's what we were seeing there. Hey, MD Media, I see you there. Old Fritz says, an OSA guy doing grunt work? Okay, so where's Lower Conditions Larry? I feel like we haven't seen him in a while. Now I'm worried. Did he get in trouble? Is it more than Lower Conditions now? What's happening? Did he decide to leave? Did he read the chalk and go, oh my gosh, I am in a cult. I'm seeing it now. There is no OT 9 and 10 either. What? So in my fan fiction, Lower Conditions Larry has left, but we'll see. Haven't seen him. Have not seen him. Nisa says, what a waste of water. Truly, truly. Kathy Scogans, happy birthday to you, says, Allie is the queen of chalk tech. She does do a really good chalk tech. She's got fantastic writing. And Allie is Z News. You guys can find her and Auditing Scientology. Shelly says, why don't they just invest in a power washer? Jesus, dude. I know, right? Like a little one. I don't know what the rules are of power washing on a public street while people are walking by, but they're also not trying to spend money. They're doing the bucket tech there. Incarnasol, set song about chalking and cleaning to Hokey Pokey. Oh, that would be funny. That would be funny. All right, now let's go over to Growing Up in Scientology, where Aaron Smith-Levin was doing a reaction video to the new Scientology commercials. I don't know if y'all heard. They have a whole new campaign that they are unleashing onto the masses. All 20 people who are probably going to watch this. But wait, Auditing Scientology says Osamat sent Larry back to the org to do its regular cleaning. Ah, so you have seen him. Okay. Okay. I guess that's good. We know that lower conditions Larry is still there. All right. So let's see. Where were we? Okay. Aaron's reaction to these new Scientology commercials. It is hilarious. They have a whole new, they got some new slogans they're breaking out. Let's take a look at a clip here.
We're with you. We're with you. And our help.
We're with you because we will never leave you. We will not stop stalking you. We will be calling you and texting you and emailing you and probably smoke signals any way we possibly can because we're Scientology and we just can't quit you.
Is yours. Wow. I love in the beginning, they're like, we've heard the questions. Yeah. Like, where's Shelley? Does David Miscavige beat his staff? Can I see my parents again? When will I ever see my child again? Rebels, free thinkers. It is amazing how Scientologists have actually part of the cult brainwashing. Scientologists truly believe that they are the freest thinkers. Like, it's why calling Scientology a cult to Scientologists, it doesn't do anything. It's like trying to convince a fish that they're dry. Like, it doesn't compute.
Scientology, that's part of why they have their own language, which is what makes them a cult. It is one of the hallmark signs of a cult. They've changed the language to fit their narrative. What they say is free thinking. Remember, in Scientology, being open-minded is a bad thing. You get in trouble for being open-minded. How dare you have an open mind about things, you thiety-weedy dilettante, which is literally what they call you in Scientology. Have you ever wondered about Scientology name calling? In fact, you know what? Let's just do it now. My former Scientology friends, and many of you never in Scientology, but all in on ending this cult. What are your favorite Scientology name calling, right? We've got the classics, suppressive person, your PTS, your other practices. Let's hear it. Throw it up in the chat and I'll catch up with you guys. We'll go through some of those. But while we're doing that, while you're thinking of how a Scientologist insults a Scientologist or even non-Scientologist, there's a Cheryl says Fabian thiety weedy. Good Juju Travel says, sorry, Osa, though ads scream. Those ads scream scam by speaking in circles with no real info. Exactly. We can all play the word salad game there. Oh, yes, Kathy Scogans. Happy birthday to you. Squirrels. That's right. You say squirrel like it's a bad thing, Scientology. You say it like it's a bad thing. Sticks and stones. Okay, let's now go to the Hollywood Testing Center where Papa Smurf saw the sign. Papa Smurf saw the sign. All are welcome and decided to test out that theory. Let's see what happened. Bet you can guess. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not my Smurf. There's my Smurf. Hold on a second. Here we go.
Oh, 1 second. You cannot sit in here. Get out of here. You're trespassing. Get out of this building. You need to get out of this. Oh, 1 second. You cannot sit in here. Get out of here. You're trespassing. Get out of this building.
Oh my gosh, wasn't the Smurf just incredible there? That was a lot. That was funny. And I would like to also say, when you are engaging with any Scientologist, Scientology center, please be aware of what the laws are in your area. Do not break the law. I am not telling anyone to break the law. I'm saying go find out what the laws are before you do certain things when it comes to going in or infiltrating Scientology. Follow the laws of the land. but that was funny. Right? What a fun Papa Smurf. That was so funny. Mandy Me says Dan Walks LA filmed this from the outside on one of his lives. That's hilarious. Yeah. Panic. Get the blue people out of here. What's happening? Let's see. Now let's go over to some clips from Scientology Audit Streets, LA. William Gude, who was outside Scientology's Winter Wonderland or Winter Blunderland, as it's being called, because not a lot happening there, but let's check it out. This is William Gude, Scientology Audit Streets, LA.
Building, you go take a picture with Santa. They're going to ask for your name and phone number and stuff. They're going to try to sneak you in a side door so you go take their personality test and stuff and try to sell you on a bunch of stuff. It's all a scam. You know what they say about Christ? L. Ron Hubbard, this guy said that Christ was a child molester. That's what he says. So they use Scientology, they use Christianity. Now you don't want to do it. No, you don't want to do it. You know, they don't want that. They don't want Scientology Santa. They don't want Scientology Santa. They know smart people right here. Smart people right here. That's right. Didn't work out, did it? Huh?
Just say no to cult Santa. Yes, there was a Scientology Santa who looked a lot like Ted. If you guys been watching Security Guard Ted over there, did look very suspiciously like him. Old Fred says, yeah, the way she was shouting, the blue with the Smurf. I know. That was such a good one. Yeah, Jess, even Santa says no to Scientology. Absolutely. Macaroni, I know, I loved it too. And he was like, say no to Scientology Santa. Antics of a Mama Squirrel says they light up Winter Wonderland, but keep the L. Ron Hubbard part almost obscured. Okay, I thought I was just seeing things. I noticed that too. I was watching it going, are they not lighting up the L. Ron Hubbard part? So when you look at the sign, Winter Wonderland, right above it, it says L. Ron Hubbard. And I think you're right, because I thought that too, but I thought I wasn't sure. So I'm glad you brought that up. It does look like they're not illuminating the L. Ron Hubbard part. Why? Why? It's kind of weird, Scientology. I don't know. I just feel like that's an ethics thing. Which one of you made the decision? Maybe if we don't light up the L. Ron Hubbard part, they won't know we're Scientology. It's like the dead giveaway. It's the dead giveaway. Well, there's more. There's more. There was a Grinch using Scientology's Winter Wonderland for a little dollar hustle. And Scientology Audit Streets LA was encouraging that. Check it out.
So he's pimping. So they got the Grinch. He's out here taking pictures, using their spot. And hell yeah, good for him. Don't go back there and say that's the real Santa right there, guys. That's the real Santa.
I love he's encouraged people to go take pictures with the Grinch, but stay away from Scientology Santa. And I love that Grinch is like just taking advantage of the situation. May as well.
Pimp the Scientology. They are using.
Okay, you see there? Winter Wonderland looks really illuminated.
Christianity.
But L. Ron Hubbard does not. Let me just back it up a little bit there. You can see it better right there. L. Ron Hubbard's Winter Wonderland. I think that's the case. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Scientology is trying to not illuminate L. Ron Hubbard's Winter Wonderland, or a 2, Natalie, you just seeing what you want to see. And then I'll let this play.
Christianity as a tool. So he's pimping. So
I thought that was very interesting. Okay, so I'm seeing some good ones. Doesn't it look like that? They're not illuminating it. Somebody needs to write a knowledge report to David Miscavige and the Religious Technology Center that the L. Ron Hubbard name is not being illuminated. It's being hidden. This sounds squirrel. This is not keeping Scientology working. But they're doing it. Even Scientology's like, L. Ron who? Who? No, that's not my boy. No. I don't know what you're talking about. This is David Miscavige's call. What are you saying? Next year, it's going to be David Miscavige's Winter Wonderland. Does it matter to you? Not to me, says they do it every year. It's darkened out. Oh, no embarrassing there. You're not embarrassing, right? Jess, good point. Oh, and also the name is in a much smaller font. I do. I feel like on some level, even Scientology knows, like, man, we got to distance ourselves from L. Ron Hubbard. You know, every single, if they do hire any type of outside PR, crisis management, Olivia Pope type place, that the first thing they're going to be like, you need to stop positioning yourself at L. Ron Hubbard. He was in a sex cult trying to raise the Antichrist right before releasing Dianetics. It's just not a good look. He was locking up people, including children, in a chain locker on his ship. He had girls in little short shorts and showing their midriff running around being his messengers. Just not a good look. Even Scientology is like, oh, what are our options? L. Ron Hubbard? David Miscavige? Ooh, beats his staff, but might be an easier sell. Let's go with that one. Let's see. Okay, so this is when Scientology Audit Streets LA, William Gude starts talking about Zero Dark Tony.
I was looking at Aaron's video yesterday, and it seems like that doofus ZDT is being paid by the CCHR, which is crazy. I mean, we all knew it, right? We all knew it. Now they know, so now they got to pay. People specifically involved with that are going, fair game goes both ways, buddy. You're a private Scientologist doing this shit, fair game goes both ways. You can have your little ops doing your little investigative work type shit. I promise you one thing, I'm better than the people around me are better than you guys. So all you public Scientologists that want to do the dirty work for Scientology, or even if you're not in Scientology, you're just working for talent security or something like that, doing the dirty work, I find out, we'll put you through it. I was looking at Aaron's video yesterday, and it seems.
Yep, Zero Dark Tony, who got called out over the weekend for taking money from Scientology to harass former members of Scientology, as well as people live streaming and protesting Scientology. And he's been at it. He has been at it, and he is not the only one. So yes. David Bruce says, I think a campaign might be afoot to keep his L. Ron Hubbard's name disassociated from Crowley and Parsons. Oh, there is. Why do you think almost every chance I get, I mention it? You are right, David Bruce. That's why I think we need to keep talking about it. We do. 420 Audits Ireland. Hey, what will happen if Miscavige dies? Would it collapse? No. Somebody else, I'm sure, will step forward and take over. I doubt there's any succession. Well, you know what I mean. Plan like that. Because if he did say, oh, this person's going to be appointed, he's going to be afraid that they're going to do what he did, which is overthrow him now. Get rid of the people that aren't backing you. A total coup. That's what David Miscavige did to gain control of Scientology. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think about it often. I mean, it doesn't keep me up at night, but that is, I would love to hear what you guys think. Tell me in the chat, tell me on the replay. What do you think is going to happen when David Miscavige is no longer of this earth? When he, as Scientology will say, drops the body. He consciously and willingly dropped the body. I'm doing the fingers thing because they always put their fingers down. Tom Cruise or David Miscavige, you know, you can't really see it here, but you know what I'm saying. What are they going to do? He cognitively dropped the body because he needed to leave and manage all the Scientology that L. Ron Hubbard's been busy doing since he died at Target 2. Is that it? I don't know, but I would love to hear your theories about it. I absolutely would love to hear your theories about it. Okay, where am I? Let's, we got to talk about this now. I'm so excited. There was an infiltration of Scientology in Phoenix. And what was discovered, the people doing this, I don't think they realized what they discovered, but I did. I watched the video. I grabbed some clips, and we're going to go over some very disturbing lies that Scientology is telling new people to recruit them into this human trafficking cult. Some of this might surprise you. Some of this might not. But I'm telling you, It is disturbing. I couldn't believe the stuff they were saying. First off, shout out to Leg Host 101. This is the channel here on YouTube that went into Scientology in Phoenix. So I'm going to be showing multiple clips from their channel. I think it's the only video they've done about Scientology. They do different, they have different content as well, but do check it out. And if you like their video, give it a like, give them a subscribe if you want to follow them as well. But like I said, I don't think they're doing endless Scientology content. They did this and they went into Scientology Phoenix. And you guys wait until you hear. Wait until you hear what got said to them. Oh my goodness. So first off, their handler touring them around got awfully excited when she discovered that one or two of these people were foreign because, you know, hashtag human trafficking in Scientology. And we discovered in Phoenix, the course supervisor is Russian, which again, we see so many people from other countries and we worry about them because Scientology will take their passports and force them to work without pay. And there seems to be more and more people from Russia, from Ukraine showing up in Scientology organizations. We know that in Ireland, in Dublin, they were trying to use people who were trying to get, I'm going blank, y'all. The menopause brain fog is strong today. What are they trying to get in it's not a religious visa. That's how they try to get them in. But you know, they're trying asylum seekers. Scientology was using asylum seekers, telling them this will help your case. You just got to clean our buildings or hand out our propaganda for like 8 or so hours a day. Yeah, Mary James Devante, we're still worried about him. So it's still hashtag free Devante. Okay, so let's go back to this clip here. Watch this.
Lithuanian.
It's Lithuanian?
Lithuanian, yes. European, next to Russia.
Okay, okay.
I'm Lithuanian.
Our course supervisor is Russian.
Oh!
I speak some Russian as well.
Have
I mean,
you-
sort of some Russian.
Oh, really?
So I'm not fluent.
Lithuanian, so
Yeah, their course supervisor is Russian. She's finding those points of reality that they can agree on.
we're the best with the Russians only because they did invade Lithuania. So, but it's water bridge. It's in the past. Done.
Lithuania? Hungarian? No? Austrian. Yes. Okay.
Lithuanian.
Now, I don't know, because at the very end of the video, I think you see that they don't actually, like, I don't think these are their real accents when they go in. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this other clip where Scientology is actually using the Disney movie Inside Out to save point themselves. So Scientology will try to associate Scientology with something people like the Disney movie Inside Out. And she does this with a few other things that we're going to see that might just blow your mind. But when I saw this, I'm like, you did not just try and save point Scientology with Inside Out. Listen to this.
Have you seen the movie, that cartoon Inside Out?
Yeah, like the core memories.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that
like that. Yeah, it's like an animation sort of a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk about this.
yeah,
Yeah, these would be like core memories.
yeah. Core memories.
Like things, like things that you would remember even like it was like when you were younger.
Have you seen?
So they're talking about like the reactive mind versus the analytical mind. And she's like, oh yeah, did you see Inside Out? You know, where all the characters play different emotions. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. The reactive mind, like, and the analytical mind. Yeah, Disney's basically proving our point. I don't think so. I don't think so. It gets better / worse though, you guys. It really does, because she brings up the blue buildings and how this was new to me. L. Ron Hubbard wrote a doctorate program. Yeah, apparently.
Have you seen our blue building on L. Ron Hubbard
You
Way?
can't miss it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So he has written he's like one of the most wide renowned authors of our time. He's even written like a doctorate program as well.
L. Ron Hubbard wrote a doctorate program. Is she talking about the Philadelphia doctorate course? Is that it? My former Scientology friends? Is that what she's talking about? I don't think that qualifies as a doctorate program. Like, what qualifies to be a doctorate program? In fact, Nancy, maybe you can Google it, or what makes something a doctorate program, and why is Scientology saying L. Ron Hubbard wrote a doctorate program?
That kind of gives you more instruction about how to free yourself spiritually. So let's learn more about L. Ron Hubbard.
So she's walking them through the different displays because, that's how Scientology does it now. Watch this video. I'm just going to read to you what's on the screen here. But she gets into a bit more, which is what made this very interesting. Let's see. Rachel. Inside Out is all about mental health. How dare she compare that sweet children's movie to the cult? Oh, my pearls. I agree, girl. I agree. Lisa Pete, doctorate program, more BS. Yeah, Jess, she's got to be talking about the Philadelphia lectures. So L. Ron Hubbard calls it the PDC, the Philadelphia Doctorate Course. That's what Scientology calls it. Does not mean it's a doctorate course. You do this and you get a PhD from the PDC. Is that what they're saying? Power Life to Paralyze, the PDC, which is the Philadelphia Doctorate Course, was originally marketed as a doctorate program with Dr. Cert. Are you serious? So they were giving it out. How did I miss this in my time in Scientology? I don't remember. I don't know that I saw one. Okay, so Nancy looked up on the Google machine. A doctorate is characterized by the following key aspects: level of study. It's a postgraduate academic degree awarded after completion of higher level study, research, and contribution to academic. Okay, that is not the Philadelphia. That is not the PDC. That is not what it is. Yeah, George Massey, the only thing doctorate is the title. Purely delusional. That's right. Yeah, that's right, Jess. Everybody hates it when people read the PowerPoint. You could take me through and just read the PowerPoint. I could do that on my own time and be more fun, because in my head, it would be different voices doing it. It'd be more entertaining. Yeah, Beachcomber, did you almost choke there? I choked on my mince pie, a PhD, Elron. Yeah, he wrote a doctorate program, y'all. I don't know if you knew that. Yes, we just heard it. This is new. This is new stuff. It is. This is a new video. Okay, gets better. Because then she tries to save point, and that's Scientology for believe we're wonderful people because we're associated with these people over here. We walked by people doing good in the community. Therefore, we're doing good in the community. That's called Scientology math. This time, y'all, my Gen Xers, some of you might lose your crap over this one. Now, Inside Out, that's like, my grandkids' age. But this one, Scientology came for us. Some Gen X, some millennials, mainly the millennials, I think, actually, might be very upset about this safe pointing and positioning that she tried to pull next. Listen to this, you guys.
We have a literacy program too. Have you guys ever heard of Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Yeah.
She just evoked Clifford the Big Red Dog in association with Scientology's Applied Scholastics, which is a Scientology front group using L. Ron Hubbard's study technology. They offer tutoring in Hollywood. We've seen it. Dan Walks LA is by there often. We've seen video. Clifford the Red Dog. Yes, she did. She did. Jersey Dan. She did. Oh, and listen.
Yeah, so Applied Scholastics, that they have a partnership with us as well. And that program's with Clifford the Big Red Dog. And
so Applied Scholastics, who's the partnership with? It's a partnership with Clifford the Red Dog with Applied Scholastics? Is she really saying Clifford the Big Red Dog is in partnership, cahoots, with Scientology? Oh my God, that sounded so Minnesotan right there. Cahoots? Are they in cahoots? Do we need to get some bars? I apologize to my friends in Minnesota. Seriously, though, Clifford the Big Red Dog and Applied Scholastics are now, Scientology wants us to believe they are in bed together. You know what? Scientology, it was one thing when you tried to position yourself with Inside Out. It's another thing when you tried to position yourself with Kimora Lee Simmons way back when. But this Clifford, the Red Dog stuff you're trying to pull is just a line that cannot be crossed. It cannot be crossed. I'm so sorry. This is also the reason why Scientology doesn't want people filming inside, because you catch them in their lies. You hear and you see the lies they're telling to recruit for Scientology. I just can't believe it. She did. She did it.
Information programs. We have Scientologists working on that too. Yeah.
They got Scientologists working on this program going on with Clifford the Big Red Dog. What's happening? Somebody, if anybody wants to do a deep dive into Clifford the Big Red Dog, applied scholastics, is something going on? Are Scientologists actually working on a project, some project? And you find out, let me know. Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. But if somebody wants to go down a rabbit hole, that is a good one. Because what is that about?
We have a drug-free world program as well.
You notice too how during this tour to learn more about Scientology, they tour all the Scientology front groups. Then you leave and you go to Applied Scholastics and you go, hey, this is Scientology. They're like, no, we're not Scientology. What are you talking about? We're not Scientology. Really? Because I just got a tour in Phoenix showing me all about your Scientology, just like your foundation for a drug-free world. What? We're not Scientology. We're the foundation for a drug-free world. We're going to hand out our little booklets. What is happening?
Human Rights Campaign and the International Association for Scientologists. We kind of go worldwide and talk to people. In every Scientology church you go to, you'll see an office dedicated to our founder, L. Ron Hubbard. We have a
Yep, every org has an office for L. Ron Hubbard, but she's pretty much doing that. Let me tour you around our front groups. Then when you leave here, we're going to deny we have any contact to Scientology with these front groups. It just pick a lane. Like there's no consistent messaging. Office of Special Affairs for the love of Xenu and all that is holy. Pick a lane. Are you or aren't you? Are you or aren't you? Is it Scientology? It's not Scientology. It gets even better, you guys. It gets even better. It gets even better. Take a look at what happened when she talks about the tone scale. Now in Scientology, there's an emotional tone scale that shows pictures of anger. What else is in there? Boredom, contentment. I don't know what that would look like, I guess. Cheerful. And it goes on, or grief, right? All the different emotions. So L. Ron Hubbard, emotional tone scale, he says that people who behave in certain ways, this is what you can tell about them. This is the emotional tone scale in Dianetics and Science for Survival, is where L. Ron Hubbard gets into how homosexuals are criminals and sexual deviants because they are on the emotional tone scale are at level 1.1. That's smiling at you while hiding a knife behind your back and then so that's basically what Scientology is saying about gay people, which is so ridiculous. So wait till you hear what she says about Scientology's tone scale tech. It is science, people. Did you know it's science? It's science.
So if you're like talking to somebody that's angry, there's been a scientific formula of how to de-escalate them. Yeah.
Scientific formula. L. Ron Hubbard with the emotional tone scale, he created a scientific formula. It probably came out of his doctorate course that he wrote as well. We got any doctors of Scientology here in the house? No judgment. I think my daughter Shelby did the PDC, the Philadelphia doctorate course. Does that make her a doctor in Scientology? Could I have been running around this whole time saying my daughter, the doctor? I'm going to change it in my phone. My daughter, the doctor of Scientology, Shelby. I got to ask her. I got to double check. But can you believe it? Yeah, science is science. Rika's like, oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Yeah. Yeah, she's just making it up. Reprise 53. Science? When I went into my physics class, no one asked me, are you here just to see if physics works? Yeah, it's science. It's science, you guys. It's science. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I think there's a little bit more to that clip.
So we teach that as well through a few of the courses that we teach. So you can have a seat here.
Okay, so then they have a seat. She tries to get the visitors to download Scientology Network TV app at this point. Because, you know, you go into Scientology and I'm sure you want to be all like, oh, you want me to download an app to my phone? Sure. I'm sure you're not going to follow me or grab my data, get all into my meta, whatever it's called. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just like to throw on words. Like, I understand technology. I really don't. Meta. It's all the meta. Meta would be a good dog name. Eric, maybe even a cat. Meta. Here, Meta. I kind of like that. So, anywho, she goes on to try and talk them into downloading this app, like right then and there. Let's listen to this pitch.
You flip it over, there's a QR code
Okay.
here, and you put your phone there.
Now, don't get me wrong, like I love a QR code. I will click on a QR code for almost anything out of curiosity. I don't know if they're the same, but I got worried about them at this point.
There, and you'll be able to download to our television
Oh,
network.
download free Scientology network. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And then what's this?
This is, we're on Apple TV, we're on Amazon, Roku. These are devices that you can use in addition to TV in order to see.
Okay.
Like I have an iPhone, so I have the app.
Oh, okay. So
On my
these two are app on phone.
Mhm.
These three are like TV.
Yeah, like a Fire Stick that you.
They're actually, like I said, I don't think these are their real accents. I got to go revisit the N again. I kind of can't remember. I don't think it is, but I think in a way it disarms the Scientologists. Oh, they're foreign. They've not heard that we're a human trafficking cult. That's kind of like what I feel ends up happening. David Bruce can't get the song out of my head. She blinded me with science. She blinded me with science. That's right. That's a Gen X song for sure. Yeah, Miss Kim says, I wouldn't trust anything of theirs on my phone at all. Oh, yeah. I remember you all back in my day. Gather around for a very quick back in my day story here. Back in my day, they tried to get us all to put this disc back when we had like, you know, the CD-ROM style. Maybe some of you still do. I have a Mac. It doesn't have it. You got to attach a whole thing to work with it. But you take the disc and you put it in and they're like, download this onto your computers. It's going to help you. And some of us were like, oh, hell no. I was like, no. And I was a like in good standing Scientologist then too. And even I was like, oh, hell no. No, I'm not downloading some Scientology CD onto my computer. And like I said, I was a good Scientologist then, but I'm like, no way. I know what you guys do. It's going to be there long after I am not. So no, I'm not going to download that, you stalker. Okay. So now this is where it really gets a little hairy, you guys, because at this point she tries to position the 10 commandments with the way to happiness, 21 precepts. And I don't mean just like, oh, it's similar to, I mean, all of the 10 commandments are in the way to happiness precepts. See right here? Don't murder. Don't murder. Okay, you got one. We're going to take a look at it. But earlier on, when these people first got there, one of them mentioned that he was Catholic. I can't remember if he did or if it was the young woman. Anyways, one of them was talking about being Catholic. So now all of a sudden she's like, oh, you know, it's so funny that you're Catholic because as it turns out, the way to happiness is just like the 10 commandments. You just slide right in. I don't think so. Well, this woman thinks so. So I don't know. Maybe I missed something when I was in Scientology. Listen to this.
So, are you in tune with the 10 Commandments? Okay. All of the 10 Commandments are within our 21 precepts. So one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not kill. You heard that one before?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the only one that most of us, who have not studied Christianity. I can't name all the 10 commandments, but I know, don't murder, don't kill anyone. So we'll give you that one, Scientology, because she can point it out here on the 21 precepts.
So we have it as the 8th precept, which says, do not murder. So you have everything, all of the 10, do not steal.
You have everything, all of the 10 commandments in here. Do not steal. So she names 2. Do not steal. I think that's a 10 commandment. We're going to look at them because I had to.
Be worthy of trust. We have many things in here that complement the 10 commandments. So here.
Okay, so now she's saying, well, it complements the 10 commandments. Before, it was the 10 commandments are all up in here. So if you are down with the 10 commandments, if you are down with Jesus, if you are down with our Lord and Savior, you can be down with Scientology. Because our precepts, the equivalent of our Scientology Bible, which, yeah, she does call it that. She tells them the way to happiness is the equivalent of the Scientology Bible. On my best day in Scientology, I wouldn't have said that because it's not true. It's not true. Let's keep listening.
Here, let's see. Take care of yourself, be temperate. Don't be. The 8th one is do not murder.
Yeah, she went over that one. That's the only one in the 10 commandments. That's why she keeps bringing it up.
Oh, here we go. Right. So do not murder. It says most races from the most ancient times to the present have prohibited murder and punished it heavily. So are you in tune?
Okay, so I was curious, right? Because I was like, I am no expert. This might surprise you guys. I am not an expert on religions. I am an expert on the human trafficking cult known as Scientology after 35 years in it and escaping with 3 generations of my family. But not all religions. So I had to go recheck. What are the 10 commandments? You shall have no other gods before me. You shall make no idols. You shall not take the name of the Lord, your God, in vain. Keep the Sabbath day holy. I'm sorry. That is definitely not in the Scientology Way to Happiness precepts. They're not trying to take a day off. Honor your father and mother. They do have one in there that's like honor and obey your parents. We're going to look at it. Something like that. Don't murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, and you shall not covet. Okay, so then we take a look at Scientology's 21 precepts, aka, as per this lady, the Scientology Bible. Hold on. Did I grab that? I did. It is from their own website, The Way to Happiness. So there's 21, right? Take care of yourself, be temperate. Don't be promiscuous, I guess could fit with, don't sleep with whatever it said in the 10 commandments. It wasn't worded like that. Honor and help your parents. That's the one. So not exactly what Scientology is saying. Support a government designed and run for all the people. Yep, Scientology, that's why you infiltrated 136 government entities back in the day. Be industrious, be competent. So as we can see, that is a bunch of BS. I mean, even in my best day in, I wasn't telling anybody that, oh, if you're down with the 10 commandments, you will be down with the way to happiness. Yes, you will. No, you won't. Bob says, okay, it helps Scientology to benefit the 10 commandments. That is about the only time they're going to try and bring that together. Yeah, she had notes, Jolie. She had notes to back it up. Kathy Scogins, Nancy, they break the 9th all the time with KRs. The 9th is you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Yes. Oh my God. We could do a whole video on the ways that Scientology violates the 10 commandments that they claim are in the way to happiness. The way to happiness. It's the way to happiness. That's one of their songs. So true. Isn't it it's from the Road to Freedom album. I'm sorry for my friends who that's going to be triggering. It's a little triggering to me. 420 Otis Ireland says she's a bad saleswoman, but it's hard when your product is so flimsy. Very true. Jess, right? No days off for Scientology. What about the Sabbath Scientology? Rika, don't covet your neighbor's wife. Yes. Blasphemy every day, all day. Jess, and they go hard for coveting. They do. They double down on the coveting. There's practically a course on coveting in Scientology. You know it. You know it. Good morning, Liz Gail. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's right. Buckled up, Buttercup. Oh, the 9. Don't bear false witness. Yeah. Office of Special Affairs and your dead agent packs. Not just not aloha, not biblical, not 10 commandments, and apparently not even way to happiness. But let's do that because we're Scientology. Gregory Metalhead, the 10 commandments are all in here, but the man on the cross, there was no Christ. Exactly. Pick a lane. Pick a lane, Scientology. They can't. They just can't. They cannot. Okay, so now after that, you guys, she gives a whole pitch for what? The Citizens Commission on Human Rights. That's right. The part of Scientology that we recently found out is the black bag man for Scientology. It is through the Citizens Commission on Human Rights that Scientology is taking cash, putting it in envelopes, and paying off people to harass former Scientologists and people live streaming and protesting Scientology. We learned of this recently. So no tour of a Scientology org is complete without being introduced to the Citizens Commission on Human Rights, because you got to know where to put the dirty money and who to call on when you got to blackmail somebody for Scientology.
Yeah, so we are totally against shock therapy. That would be something that would be considered abuse. So
Which I get it, right? I mean, I don't know too many people that are like, yes, I'm so down with shock therapy. I mean, I don't think it's like the first line of defense anymore, but that is a key point that Scientology always hold on to, that all of psychiatry is nothing but electroshock treatment. That's what they would have Scientologists believe.
this is our Citizens Commission for Human Rights. And it talks about how there's a therapy or torture through electric shock. There's a documentary about it. And there's an Industry of Death documentary about it. Making a Killing is about putting people on prescription drugs, which essentially robs them of all emotion, and it doesn't help them think better about their.
Yes, you heard it here. You heard it here. You heard it here. Psychiatric drugs robs you of your emotions, and you just like can't think clearly. And I'm not saying medications don't have side effects, but you see the positioning Scientology tries to do. Oh, you're not understanding Scientology and accepting it because you're on those psychiatric drugs. They're robbing you of your emotions. Robbing you of your emotions? Really, Scientology? Because I don't know. I remember being a little kid growing up in Scientology, being robbed of my emotions. Being told I couldn't express those. Anger, crying, grief, misemotions, as they're called in Scientology. No. Who is robbing who of emotions here? I mean, pot kettle. Seriously? Psychiatry is robbing people of their emotions. Meanwhile, Scientology is like, knock off your crying. That's misemotion. I'm going to write a knowledge report on you. You're going to get declared if you cry one more time because you had a family member die. True story. That happened to more than one person in the Sea Org. Keep crying over the loss of your parent, grandma, sister, brother, whatever, and we will give you something to cry about. Like, I'm not even joking. That's totally a thing. But hey, psychiatry, they're gonna take away all your emotions per the Scientologists here.
Their condition.
Yeah, it's a pretty psychology is a pretty lovely field into all this stuff.
Yeah, well, I prefer psychology versus psychiatrists.
Yeah.
Now, this is not something I have ever heard a Scientologist say. Did you guys hear what she said? Well, I prefer psychology over psychiatrists. Do tell, girl, because your church, your religion is not down with that. It's all the same to them. Psychology, psychiatrists, cognitive behavioral therapy, which she actually mentions. So I don't know, something telling me like there's hope for this woman because one, she seems to be not down with electric shock, which I don't blame her. She's down with any kind of psychiatric abuse. Well, who's pro that? She loses us in multiple places, but makes me wonder, like, okay, you've not completely given it all up to Scientology. I found this interesting. I've not heard that said before, especially by somebody who's promoting Scientology.
That I don't like. So I'm not feel like people put someone for a psychiatrist. I'm like, no, not put medicine.
Right, I'm not a dope dealer.
No. I'm like,
Psychiatrists are dope dealers. That's what they say.
Yeah, so we are totally against shock therapy.
Yeah, in case you were wondering. In case you came into this Scientology org for a little shock therapy, we just want you to know we're not down with that and we're not doing it. So don't think you're going to hold on to the e-meter and give yourself a little shock therapy. No, you're not. Oh, Rachel, psychologists are not able to prescribe medication. Psychiatrists can, which makes sense why she would differentiate. But it's not like Scientologists are allowed to go see a psychologist or a counselor of any kind outside of Scientology. That's kind of the funny thing about it. It's like, really? Like, I don't know. I don't think you're maybe completely gone yet. Now, this is where she gets into the way to happiness is our version of the Bible. And I think she even gives them some sex advice, some advice on the sex. Let's listen.
Wait, so this book is like where it tells me the verses or whatever?
The verses for the Bible, or
is this your version of the Bible?
this is our version of the Bible. It's inclusive of the best of all faiths.
The way to happiness is inclusive of the best of all faiths. It is their Bible. No, it's not. No, it's not. Is that a new thing in Scientology? Because when I was in this human trafficking cult, we were not saying the way to happiness is like our Bible. It's like our Bible. No, it's not. There's nothing in Scientology that's actually like a Bible. The closest thing could be maybe the book, What is Scientology? Which shows you what the beliefs are, or at least the beliefs that they claim to believe, because they don't actually believe all of them. That would be the closest. Not the way to happiness. Not the way to happiness.
Yeah.
And so, what does it say about lust as well?
Well, we can look at it on that display.
It says don't be promiscuous.
Now, I don't know if you caught that, but the guy's all like, what do they say about lust? And she's like, well, we can look on the display. And the guy who's not even a Scientologist jumps in with the precept. Oh, yeah, it's the way to happiness. Don't be promiscuous. That's what they say about lust. Now, I'm not going to falter because it wasn't top of mind, right? Like, I forget things all the time. I got the menopause brain. I don't hide it. But, I mean, she does do this spiel every day. So I feel a little bit like it should be a little more top of mind there.
yeah. Which is like, don't go out and have sex repeatedly.
Yeah.
Can't
Have multiple partners. And
She giving him the good sex advice now. Don't be getting out there and doing multiple partners.
you never know. Somebody's not being honest with you.
That's right. You don't know when somebody got an STD and they are lying about it. So you heard it straight from the mouth here. Scientology is just keeping an eye out for all of you. You're not going to be spreading that stuff around.
Till you wind up at the doctor.
For that shot of penicillin.
Yeah. So that's that, and
That's that. Be careful so you don't get an STD. To end our tour of Scientology, let's have a little intimate conversation about your sexual life and habits. And then we're going to tell you what we think you should or should not be doing in that way. Now, they tell her about a friend who makes DMT. Now, all I know about DMT is that it's a drug. I don't even know what it is. Can somebody give me another name for it in the chat? I might know. Like, is it the same thing as Molly or ecstasy? Is it just another word? Anyways, they're telling her how they got this friend who makes DMT in his house. Like, I'm not totally sure how this even came up, but she did have something to say about this friend making DMT in their own home. It is not what you think. In fact, you guys could even almost guess. You're never going to guess what she says. But they tell the Scientologist, we got this friend. He makes DMT in his house. This is what's happening. And let's see what she says about it. Nancy said it's also ketamine. Ketamine and DMT is the same thing. DMT is the businessman's LSD. Ah, okay. A bit like LSD. Okay. 420 Otis Ireland says ayahuasca. Maybe it's different things in different places. So anyways, it is this drug, DMT, and that how their friend was making it. Listen to how her advice and what they should do with this relationship and how they can use this relationship of their friend making DMT in his basement to their advantage.
Is there any psychedelics?
Wouldn't that be considered synthetics?
I believe so.
Yeah. So that one would be this one.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a friend. He's really into psychedelics.
Mind altering thing.
Yeah, and he actually has made DMT in his bedroom before.
I don't know. What's DMT?
I have no idea, but I just know it's this type of drug.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as long as he's not driving on that stuff. Oh,
He has like 2 DUIs.
Yeah, it gets expensive. It gets very expensive. If he's got money to waste, borrow some money.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? If your friend making illegal substances and drugs in his basement has money to throw around, why don't you go borrow some money from him? For what? Scientology. You got a friend making basement drugs? Hit them up for a loan for some Scientology, because we can't get money from Chase anymore on account of all the credit cards we racked up in people's names without telling them, and then they had to default because they were in such crippling debt. Yeah, that's right, Jess. Who's the drug addict now? Just borrow money from them. Borrow money from them. Wow. That one I did not see coming. That was a little bit of a bonus in our tour here today. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see here. Let's watch the last bit of this clip.
So you could take that and give it to him.
Okay.
Right? You can learn more about that.
She gave him anti-drug booklets to go give to their friend who makes DMT in his basement. It'll open the conversation for borrowing money. Dude, I've been worried about you. Here is a drug on synthetics I got from Scientology, which reminds me I now need to purify myself in a sauna for 5 hours a day after taking dangerous levels of niacin. I need you to front me like $2,500, $5,000 actually, because I need to pay for my International Association membership of Scientology. It might be more than that. But these are the kind of things I want to borrow money from you, who is making drugs.
You guys, those are free if you want to take those. It's fine.
Yeah, take those free drug booklets. Take those free drug booklets. Now, to round off the tour here, right? Because, you know, you got to cover all the different areas of a person's life, right? We've covered drugs. We've covered so much. What about if you want a girlfriend? What about if you want a partner? Can Scientology help you with that? Can Scientology help you with that? Let's take a look. I think she's got some advice on that too.
Here is how to improve relationships with others. So if you're looking to be a charismatic man with the ladies.
Okay. How to improve relationship with others is not a course that teaches anybody how to be charismatic with the ladies. It would be a stretch. I guess you could twist that around. But do you see how she's trying to hit the buttons? She thinks that specifically the 2 young men, I think there were 2 young men and a young lady. She's specifically pushing the buttons of the 2 young men. Chicks, drugs. This is going to help you get the ladies. Can you imagine the pickup lines? What are you going to do? Go into a bar and be like, hey, can I show you my way to happiness? Is that an e-meter Ken in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? It just doesn't play in the real world, but it's not stopping her from trying.
This one would help here.
And it pretty much ended with the advice on how to get a lady. that the course can actually help you do that. which I guess, again, I could see how it could be twisted that way that you could, but it is such a stretch. It is such a stretch. Was that a stretch? Was that not the craziest thing you have seen? And I'm linking everything down below. You can go see the video all the way through. It's almost nonstop. Like I shared with you my favorite pieces of this video, but I suggest you go watch it in its entirety because it might blow your mind. It really shows why Scientology loses it if you show up with a camera. We don't want you recording our lies. We can't keep saying that, hey, Inside Out. Do you know that movie? Yeah, Scientology. Clifford the Big Red Dog. You know him? You like him? Yeah, Scientology. DMT in your friend's basement? Borrow money from that person. I mean, this is the life advice coming out here of Scientology. Yep, Jesse, I guess you can't stop people from lying. Exactly. Lisa Pete says, I don't know. I'll show you my way to happiness could be a pickup line. I'll show you my personality test if you show me yours. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jess. Lying liars lie. Very much so. Napoleon says, yeah, but Scientology can just help you get crazy cult women. Hey, or crazy cult men too. I mean, that goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Crazy cult people. It can help you get crazy cult people. Absolutely, it can. Yeah, Miss Kim, real reason for bank fraud. Lot of stuff there, a lot of information there. Just craziness. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to do a little hot topic. Sometimes at the end of my videos, I like to bring up a little bit of news, not necessarily Scientology related. This isn't at all, but I want to talk about it because I saw it and now I need to talk about it. So we're going to look at this quick. And reminder, hit that like, hit that subscribe, y'all. Set your notification bell to all. Today, 4 o'clock Central, I'm going to be doing an interview with a former Scientologist who is a Sea Org member on the ship with L. Ron Hubbard. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into photos. Bring your questions. If you can't catch it live at 4 Central today on my channel, catch it on the replay. Jump in those comments. I want to hear from you. In the meantime, did you guys see what happened to the Santa Cruz wharf when it collapsed? Look at this. Did you guys see this? It like floated over from where it was. And it's like just crashed up over there. It was like bad weather. And I mean, this is like, look at that. I don't know how much you can see it, but I watched this multiple times. And there were a couple people who were out on the pier, like when it broke off and they had to be rescued. It sounded like they were okay, but look at that. I think it's time to fix things up a little. Did you guys see that? I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyways, I was watching that and I was thinking about it and just wanted to say like, that's scary. It's just breaking off like that. I feel like there'd be like, you would know ahead of time and maybe, did they rope it off? I don't know. Oh, I'm glad you guys are excited. Tony Hoban about the interview. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm doing another one tomorrow with another former Scientologist. Office of Special Affairs. Remember, don't miss today, 4 p.m. Central Time, live. I know you like to catch live, but if you have to catch it on the replay, by all means, please do. Please do. I hope that you do. Oh, okay, everybody. That's what I got for you. I hope you all get out and have an amazing cult-free day.